Welcome to this TSTV Sports Update. I'm Leslie Slaughter from College Press Box, and joining me is Cameron Whitaker, the Sports On News producer from KVR. Cameron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Leslie. It's Friday, and it's been a long week, but I'm ready for Longhorn sports. So to kick it off this week in Longhorn sports, we have the women's basketball team taking on Stanford at the Frank Irwin Center here in Austin. This game begins at 7 p.m., and if you don't have tickets, you can check out the Longhorn Network.
The women's soccer team travels to Columbia, South Carolina on Friday to take on the Gamecocks in round 1 of the NCAA championships.
And moving on to Saturday, Longhorn football is traveling to Columbia as well, Missouri that is, to face the Missouri Tigers. This game starts at an early 11 a.m. time slot, but you know we do love our Longhorn football, and you can check that out on FX.
Let's go more in depth into the football team. So earlier in the season, the Longhorns were playing very inconsistently. We weren't sure how they were going to do, but now it seems that David Ash has secured the starting position and their running game has picked up. So what are your thoughts about Texas playing the Missouri Tigers on Saturday?
Well, you know, Leslie, you're definitely right. This Texas team was very unstable in the beginning, but it seems that though they have found themselves later on in the season. Let's talk about last week first. Texas Longhorn, they rushed for over 400 yards for the second consecutive week, which is a big statement for them. That means they're progressing week to week. David Ash, as you said, he is getting better week to week. He threw for no interceptions this past weekend, and that's a big statement for him compared to early on in the season. Now, this past week, we played without two of our most important starters. Malcolm Brown, he was out with the injury of turf toe, and Jackson Shipley was out with the knee injury. But despite that, the Longhorns still put off a huge victory against the Raiders, especially with Joe Bergeron running for 191 yards. So this Texas team has shown that they have depth in their roster and that they can take on anybody. Speaking for Mizzou, even though they are 4-5 and Texas is 6-2 overall, they're not a sleeper team. A few weeks ago, they played significantly better than the Longhorns against the Oklahoma Sooners, ending their score with 38-28. And 2 weeks ago, they pulled off the huge upset versus Texas A&M.
So football is not the only thing being played on Saturday. The Longhorns, the Texas volleyball team, is taking on Kansas State this Saturday at 4 o'clock. They have a 16-game win streak, and they hope to continue that.
And to wrap up this weekend of Longhorn sports, the men's basketball team will be kicking off their season for 2011-2012, taking on Boston University. This game will start at 6 p.m. here in Austin at the Frank Irwin Center. And once again, if you don't have tickets, tune in to the Longhorn Network for live coverage.
So it's crazy to think that basketball season is already upon us.
Yeah, it is. Football is not even, it's only halfway over.
Right. And last year, the Longhorns had a great season, but they lost 4 of their starters. How will they recover from that?
Leslie, it's hard to say. I haven't seen much coverage of this new Longhorn team. And, you are right. We only have 1 returning starter, which means 4 new guys have to come in. And overall, we have 6 new freshmen and 5 returning veterans. So it's going to be a shaky year. We are a young team, and I just hope that they'll measure up to the success of last year.
If you could pick one player on a team that will be a breakout star this year, who would that be?
For me, I would say one breakout player you need to watch, Mick Kamungo. Last year in the 2011 recruiting class, he was the number 11 prospect, which is huge and huge for Texas. He's a freshman guard, and he also came from Findlay Prep, which is where Tristan Thompson and Corey Joseph came from. They did big things here at Texas, and I'm expecting the same from him. So he is the player to watch.
This will be an exciting season to watch.
It will.
And there's so many games to watch this weekend. We hope you check out a few. Thank you for tuning in to this TSTV Sports Update. For Cameron Whitaker, I'm Leslie Slaughter. Thanks for watching.
Have a good weekend.